There is nothing scarier than the idea of the entire world rotating. I mean, aside from its normal earthly rotations.
Yeah. Here we go. The notes.
Did we talk about that? We must have a long time ago. But there was a podcast that Vernon used to have me listen to. It was really cool. Now I can't remember the name of it. But it was just these different stories of people's strange experiences. And one of them
listen to Radiolab?
Nope.
Do you know what it is?
Nope.
Radiolab is a very cool science podcast, and they talk about all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's from NPR, yeah. And one of the things, I think the episode was called Lost and Found. If anyone wants to look it up, it's super interesting. But they talk about how, you know how some people have like face blindness? Like, no matter how many times they meet someone, they just can't recognize them.
Yeah.
Like, so this woman has what they name location blindness, where like she first realized she had it when she was like 5 years old or whatever, and she was playing in her backyard, or she was playing in a friend's backyard or something, and she closed her eyes for a second, and when she opened her eyes, she was completely fucking lost, and she had no idea where she was, and she just like freaked out and just started running, and then like she ran into this random yard and found her mom there. And she was like, "Mom, what are you doing in this random yard?" And then her mom was like, "This is our yard." So like she just had this weird like episode where she totally lost track of where she was. And what they determined it was occasionally when she would blink or close her eyes for a second, when she'd open her eyes, everything had turned a quarter to the left mentally. So like, let's say you're sitting where you are in a room right now with your four walls, and you close your eyes. Suddenly, the wall that was in front of you when you closed your eyes is now to the left, and the wall that was to the left is behind you, and the wall that's behind you is to your right.
What the fuck?
How fucking crazy is that shit? And they still haven't quite solved like what causes it or how to cure it.
How's that work? Like, because that's not even what is.
Yeah.
In the world.
Well, I mean, not to like. I feel kind of douchey just like reciting this entire podcast on Game Grumps, but it really is super interesting. Like, she meets up with this doctor. Every time you go to a new environment you've never been in before, your body breaks it. Your mind breaks it down into like all these like triangles basically, and there's one part of your brain that like pays attention to those triangles and like the distance of where everything is, and then the third part of your brain is dropping these little pins in the ground, like telling yourself, okay, I've been there and now I'm going here, which I haven't been to yet. And if all three parts of your brain aren't working in tandem together, you can just fucking get lost at any second.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he determines, based on his knowledge, that this particular woman has an issue with one of those parts of her brain, and they find out what it is, and they still haven't cured it, but she's found like 700 other people who have the same thing.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, so
one of them was about a woman who, but it was a story of a woman who had a very rare brain disorder, where she suddenly one day just completely lost track of where she was. She was doing fine, and then she lost all perspective, and she was terrified, and then she was like, "Where am I? I'm miles from anywhere I know." And then I think she found her son in the yard. I mean, it's been so many years since I've heard this, I'm probably screwing it up a little bit. But she found her son, and she said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? This is our backyard." And it turned out that she has some extremely rare condition where just seemingly randomly the entire perspective of her world shifted. So if you were standing looking at something, like maybe one of your walls in your room, what her brain did was suddenly shift everything one wall rotation over. So if you were looking at the wall with the door, suddenly the wall with the door was over by where the wall with the window was, and the wall with the window was where the wall with the painting was, you know? Everything just switched around on her. and she got completely disoriented. And apparently it's this extremely rare condition, and she was able to find a few other people who have it and share their experiences and make them feel less alone. It was a very cool story,
That's
but very bizarre.
wacky, dude.
Super wacky.
I'd do.
But that's what I thought of when I thought of the Earth rotating, sort of rotating on you, you know, without you understanding what's going on.
Oh, dude, because I thought something similar. I thought the video game Loco Roco for the PlayStation Portable, which is a game where you control the world and you shift. You use your controller to move the world around. That's what I was thinking when you said that. So I think
It's it's pretty much exactly the
yeah,
same.
we're on the same page. I think.
This level is scary.